Headlines keep coming. An athlete accused of domestic violence. Another high-profile relationship ends in tragedy. And in one recent case, a young pro took his own life amid personal turmoil. It's not just heartbreak, it's identity collapsing under the weight of fame, pressure, suspicion, and isolation. This is PsyOps Sports. We decode the behavior behind the headlines. Today, we unpack why professional athletes, especially black athletes, fall apart when relationships fall off track. Identity created under spotlight. From the moment the contract is signed, the brand is built. I'm special, I made it, I'm above the rest. The house, the car, the lifestyle, the social media image, all of it reinforces the identity. So when a relationship breaks down, the athlete doesn't hear, "We argued," he hears, "You just shattered my identity. You treated me like I'm not the elite man I'm supposed to be." That gap between who I am and how you treated me becomes intolerable. Loneliness, time, and emotional distance. Professional athletes don't live normal lives. They travel, they train, they recover. Days pass with texts unanswered and hours spent alone. Meanwhile, the partner at home wants connection, time, attention. And loneliness doesn't care about his status. She feels ignored. He feels pressured, and when he sees anything that threatens the relationship, real or imagined, it hits harder because he's supposed to have everything. But emotionally, he feels like he has nothing. Suspicion, phone behavior, and trigger moments. Here's the angle people rarely talk about. Suspicion triggered by small moments. The phone rings. She acts different. She steps outside to answer. A text appears and she turns the screen. She's out with girlfriends and a guy is standing too close in a photo. It could be innocent. It could be nothing. But in his mind, why is she hiding that? Who is that dude? Why would she act strange around me? How could she disrespect me like this? Her nervous behavior, maybe she just doesn't want an argument, becomes proof that something is happening, and that is when the identity wound opens deep. Because to him, the elite man should never feel insecure. And now he feels vulnerable. In front of the world, in front of his circle, in front of himself. This is where arguments escalate. This is where domestic violence accusations occur. This is where athletes spiral. The circle, the homies, and the constant image pressure. A player's circle isn't just his teammates, it's the homies, the friends from back home, the cousins, the guys he grew up with, the people who eat off his success and they watch everything. The car he drives, the jewelry he wears, the woman he's with, how she speaks to him, whether she posts him, whether she argues with him, whether she embarrasses him online or in public. And the circle talks loudly, in his ear, in the group chat, at the party. Bro, you letting her disrespect you like that? Why's she acting shady? You a multimillionaire and she treating you like a regular dude. Man, that text she got don't look right. You sure she loyal? This pressure becomes a psychological trap because now he's not just reacting to his girlfriend, he's reacting to what his homies will say, what his friends will think, even what his community expects of him as the one who made it. That pressure magnifies suspicion, anger, and insecurity. And when his identity is already tied to respect, status, and being the man, the circle's comments can turn a small issue into an explosive one. This is where behavior shifts. This is where accusations start. This is where tragedies unfold. Drafted, rookie identity, and the trap. This starts early, even before fame. The newly drafted athlete, fresh money, new image, new expectations, little emotional grounding. The circle expects more. The partner expects more. He hasn't had time to grow into the identity. And when trouble hits early, the fall is steep and fast because the identity is fresh and fragile. Real lives, real tragedies. Marshawn Nealand, drafted in 2024, 24 years old, rising star, died by suicide. Police audio captured his girlfriend's fear for his safety, whether mental illness or identity pressure. The emotional storm was real. Chris Henry. Relationship conflict ended in tragedy after a domestic dispute. Steve McNair, murdered in a relationship spiral. Aaron Hernandez. Identity imploded under emotional, psychological, and relational chaos. These are not random events. They follow a behavioral pattern shaped by identity, pressure, suspicion, and emotional volatility. Why it doesn't happen the same everywhere. In some cultures, self-worth is built on family, values, internal identity, but for many athletes, especially those from environments where sports are the path out, self-worth is built on fame, power, status, respect, external validation. And when they feel disrespected, especially by a partner, the fallout is severe because it doesn't just hurt the heart, it destroys the identity. The behavioral formula. The psychology behind the crisis. Elite identity, circle pressure, loneliness and absence, suspicion from small triggers, relationship conflict, domestic violence accusations, self-harm, or tragic breakdowns. This is not a justification. This is behavioral truth. This is understanding. Responsible and impactful. When you hear another headline, domestic violence, accused, self-harm, tragedy, ask, what identity broke? What circle influenced him? How lonely was he? What suspicion triggered it? What pain was underneath? Because when your identity is built on being extraordinary, the smallest emotional threat feels like a war. This is PsyOps Sports. We show you the game behind the game. Like, share, and subscribe for more insight. Because understanding why matters just as much as knowing what.